No-code app development is a trap. I fell into this trap and lost a lot of money. So this is my story.
Really loving the beginning of this. Maybe it's my own bias, but also I think it comes from my own experience dealing with low code solutions. As you may know, if you might not know already, but I'm a Salesforce architect and I build out the design solutions in Salesforce. And typically in Salesforce, you are geared towards building low code, no code solutions and, using their declarative tools that are like point and click configuration, drag and drop type of tools. So you don't have to worry about the coding aspects. But let's see about what they say, because I have my own personal opinions as well. I want to see if they have the same thoughts as well. So let's look into this video.
One day I had an idea. I know, real of me to have an idea. But I thought, hang on, this idea would make a great app. I didn't know how to build mobile apps. I haven't done it at that stage, but I did know how to code, just not mobile apps. And I did some research and I figured I should just do no code. It was 2023 at that stage. And I thought, hey, the technology must be out there for a platform called Flutterflow. And Flutterflow is a no-code app development platform. It is probably one of the most popular no-code platforms out there. The idea here is that you will not be programming. You won't be actually coding in Flutter. It's more of a drag and drop platform that you can start building apps. And so I began to build my app. And I think I started the process correctly. I looked at their documentation. I watched a bunch of YouTube tutorials. I created the wireframe on Balsamiq. I would say I was around 20 to 30% complete when things just started not looking right. I wanted to do specific things on my app, which I thought was reasonably easy, but I just couldn't do it. And because it wasn't a default feature, I thought, hang on, I know with Flutterflow, if you want that uniqueness, that ability to customize things, you can create a custom widget, but I couldn't do that because it actually didn't work. So I reached a roadblock.
As she was going along with this, at some point, the declarative stuff is not going to work. And I've seen this so many times in my Salesforce career in the last 6 years of developing applications and integrating stuff with Salesforce and so on. I find that you have to use a custom solution after a while, especially as the requirements of a certain feature continues to grow. Maybe that's what she's getting at in this video, and I'm highly suspecting that. I'm gonna give her a chance. I want to see what she says further going on with this.
Flutterflow raised 25.5 million. Anyway, that post actually wasn't the interesting part. The interesting part was the comment below it. It summarized my issues that I was having with Flutterflow. I was quite active in the Flutterflow environment for about a year and a half. At the time, I was very happy with it, to be honest. I would say I was in the 10 to 90% project completion phase of my app. However, when I got to the last 10%, I realized that Flutterflow is a 90% completion product. They go on to say, in my experience, when I hit the 90% and started seeing the cracks, I thought, oh well, that sucks. Luckily, I can add a custom widget. So I started there. And wow, adding custom widgets and trying to integrate them into the Flutterflow codebase without any sort of error logging was awful. After this, I thought, well, I might as well find a dev to help.
This encompasses all my experiences with declarative stuff. If you may know, there's been some new development with flows and stuff like that in Salesforce, and these flows are just like drag and drop. You're dragging and drop these elements from the left hand side and you build out this logic. Ultimately, it's they build out some error logging and stuff that allow you to see what's going on if something goes wrong horribly in your DML operations, which is your data manipulation language operations, some other stuff as well. If it's null or whatever, it allows you to send different errors at these different nodes in this error log thing. And you can give more details of what's going on. I like that. That's great. That took so long. This was 2 years ago. It was how do we actually error log and safely where we can possibly do something with that log and redirect it back and continue on with this process somehow. There was none of that. There was no safe stuff. And that was 2 years ago. And now it's now it's this, and we have these custom logs. Long story short, let's get back into this video.
I guess I have hit the limit of Flutterflow and need to download the code. So in Flutterflow, you do have the option of downloading your code base and getting the physical code after you develop your app. So I did, and dear Lord, that code base was awful. It was straight up horrible. Spaghetti was an understatement. So then I thought, well, I need someone with more experience because this is getting out of control. So I hired a dev. They took one look and tried and then said, we can rebuild it in 2 weeks. And so we did. We are finally in a good place, but Flutterflow just about sank our startup. And
That's so wild. So as you can see, it's like they got some devs, they build it out. But see, and this is the great thing about entrepreneurship. It's like you try to get your minimal viable product at first. Of course, maybe it's not going to get there 100%, but you try your best to get all this functionality. And maybe you use a tool like Flutterflow to try to get to a certain point where, hey, now the investors and all that stuff is really liking this ideal of things. The last 10%, they need to finish off this application to show to your investors who want to continue to go forward with this. That's when you hire some custom devs that will probably even rebuild it or use the existing code base and try to finagle it to where it needs to be at to get to that 99 or 100%, hopefully. Eventually, you're going to need a custom dev. You're going to need someone in coding to be able to sting your application the lifetime of this application. I don't know why a lot of companies think, yo, you're just gonna do low code forever. No, that's not gonna happen. I have not seen it in my whole entire career so far in Salesforce, which promotes low code, no code, but eventually you're gonna need it. Yes, that might work for the first year, maybe not even a year. I was like, I have never seen to the point of anything that I've developed lasting in the realms of staying low code, no code. Yes, at the very beginning, maybe code is not the best option for speed, but eventually it's like you get bogged down and you're gonna slow down eventually with low code, no code. I'm still weighing the options. Is like if you still have a platform that gives you the ability of no code, low code, but still be able to give you the effortness of customization with that low code, no code, then that's great. And I've seen that with Salesforce. I'm not, Salesforce evangelist or anything like that, but I've been working in this space for a very long time, but I'm also moving a little bit outside the space a little bit because of some of those reasons of I know there's other tools out there that can do this better. And I want to build stuff with those tools. And they don't have any standards. They don't know what clean code is. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys got a lot out of this video. Like and subscribe. Peace.